Good evening, everyone. Welcome to FGM eCast for your Wednesday night. And Wednesday night means ANZCAR Thunder Series. And tonight we're coming to you live from Charlotte for a 125-lap race. Andrew Dyson proved unstoppable last week at Kota, winning both the Xfinity and the Cup races. Will he be able to do it again tonight? There'll be a lot of drivers using tonight as a prelude to tomorrow night's event, where ANZCAR Cup also will do a 200-lap race here at Charlotte. So let's get into it. Let's roll the intros and let's see who takes out this 125-lap race here for the ANZCAR Thunder Series on FGM eCast. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to FGM eCast, presenting the ANZCAR Thunder Series live from Charlotte. We have a fixed setup race here tonight at Charlotte, 125 laps that we're going to be bringing you in the Xfinity cars tonight. I am flying solo, Carl Withy, away doing Carl Withy things this evening, so it is just my dulcet tones to bring you through this 125 lap event tonight. So do jump into the chat. Keep me company as we get through this one. It's going to be fast. There's going to be plenty of drafting activity. Right front tyre is going to cop an absolute pounding as well, as we just see Hamish Gallagher there just getting the Mitch Motorsport 13. The Taylor Swift mobile pulled up into pit lane. There's always going to be some action heading in there as well. So we're just winding down the last 5 or so minutes of practice here before we get into solo qualifying as usual in the ANZCAR Xfinity Series. So let's quickly have a look at the standings as they are. In fact, that man on screen, Hamish Gallagher, leading the championship at the moment after 2 races. He did take out the win a couple of weeks ago, and he'll be looking to perhaps return to that winning circle tonight as we get through this one. He has had 2 top 10 finishes as well, so doing quite well. Edward Foster, Joshua Carroll Wallen are second and third respectively, with Josh Mickelmore also tied for third place in the Mitch Motorsport entry, so he will be looking to have a strong performance tonight and perhaps snatch that third place out solo, as will Edward Foster be looking to defend his position. It is then Brenton West, Norman Clark, Ruben Phelps. We've got Dave Douglas, Matty Raymond and Gary Wellman rounding out our top 10. It is close here, and we did see as well last week Andrew Dyson take out the win at Kota. That was his first start in the Xfinity Series, so he is 1 from 1. He'll be looking to go back-to-back tonight. He's got a little bit of a gap to breach to make his way up into that top segment of the table, currently sitting in 18th after that one race. So we'll keep an eye on him as always. Expect him to be fast here, and he should have another good night tonight. Speaking of good nights, Jaden Russell currently second in practice, new entrant to the series, doing a great job as well. He's nice and quick, and certainly was in the trucks as well. So he just appears on screen there in the Vision Motorsport entry, the number 28. Sorry, my apologies there, not the Vision Motorsport entry, but the number 28 nonetheless. We've got a couple of the Crank Esport guys in here. Michael Skurlock just seeing if he can practice that victory lane celebration during the practice session that he's hoping to get through tonight. Luke Trahere just pops up in the third position, if you don't mind, while we're on screen with him there in practice. So he's done a 30.58. And as we say, the key tonight is going to be managing that right-hand front tyre. 125 laps here. See if there may be some cautions, as always, but the standard driving in ANZCAR generally extraordinarily high, so we'll hopefully not have too many cautions tonight as we make our way through this race. Of course, we are back here tomorrow night. I mentioned at the top of the show, this is a fixed series, and as is the Cup car generally, but tomorrow night, open race here for the guys. So they've been working on setups nice and hard in those Cup cars to make sure that they are prepared and ready to go for that one. Michael Skurlock going to be looking to take the win out there and do the triple deke, the triple crown, and take out that third segment that he needs to win a new sim rig, from what I understand as well. So that's a big bargain for him. Everyone will be looking to stop him. No one else, of course, able to win that with only 2 races to go in that series, or in that little mini series within a series, which is at the high speed circuits, of which Charlotte is. So he'll be looking to get that one across the line tomorrow night and get that concluded. So do tune in for that one if you are around, because that little run there will be very hotly watched. So just 3 minutes to go here before we get into qualifying. And just down on the inside there, got the 263 of Michael Schroeder. Testing the durability of those tyres and finding the boundary, or heading over the boundary in fact. Andrew Dyson just moves up into 4th position with his fastest lap of practice so far. So he did a 30.58, matching Luke Trahere for pace. So he is going to be quick here tonight. Josh Micklemore showing some speed. Neil Pearson as well. Ruben Phelps having a good run. As Michael Skurlock just jumps up into 2nd with a 30.57, just 1/10 ahead of his teammate Luke Trahere. Just waiting for practice to conclude here. Just a big shout out to AJ Insurance Services, our streaming partner and sponsor of a couple of the cars out here as well, with Natari Auto Sports. You can just see Jaden Russell there just getting the benefit of the draft behind Luke Trahere. AJ Insurance Services, Joe Daly and the team jumping on board and helping us out with the stream this season. Oh wow, it's very loose there, Jaden Russell. If you're in the market for insurance for your business, might be personal insurance for your home or car, Joe Daly and the team at AJ Insurance Services are the people we recommend to go and see, not just because they help us out on the channel, but Joe is a very, very big supporter of the sim arena, shall we say, and a really good guy to boot. So definitely the place if you're looking for advice. He's very, very willing, very helpful to help people out with that, even if he's not looking after them for their insurance. So if you've got some questions, give Joe and the team a call at AJ Insurance Services, and do support the people that support us in putting on this show for you, and I'm sure they'd be greatly appreciated. And just let them know that you saw their name on the stream. So practice is just about to finish. JCW currently 2nd in the championship. He equal 3rd, I should say, in the championship. Just jumps up into 3rd in practice, just ahead of Michael Skurlock. And we're happy with that in the AJ Insurance Services sponsored 35 Natari Auto Sport car. So he'll be very pleased to be that far up the field. Steve Williams a little bit further down than we would expect to see Steve. So he's back in the Batmobile tonight. He's got sim rigs on the Batmobile, in fact. So as he's just practicing a drift there as well. So practice is now over. So as we usually do here, we jump on the car that is first out of the pit, and it is going to be Andrew Dyson tonight. Just noticing a couple of the Simriks cars running an alternative black livery here, looking very, very striking indeed with the red wheels there. So we'll jump on board with Dyso as he does his 2 flying laps out here at Charlotte. So solo qualifying tonight, as always, so no benefit of the draft or anything like that whatsoever. And we don't have Cole here to do his usual talk around of the lap, but we'll do our best here. Just sticking on board with Dyso. The second lap will be the faster one as they wind up the pace in the 041 simrigs.com team DPR entry. And Dyson's been one of the drivers who's been very, very strong of late. Saw as well that he had a third in the top tier V8 supercar racing as well, so he's doing it very well across a couple of different disciplines. And he's kind of getting close towards the end of his first lap here. Jaden Russell does a 30.68 to go top of the tree. Hamish Gallagher at 30.94. Lachlan Urquio back in as well after his injury. He's done a 30.83 to jump up into second. Andrew Dyson's first lap out was a little slower than he would have liked, 31.5. He's sliding down the tree at the moment, just currently sitting in 12th position as he gears up for his second lap, which will be faster. We'll jump on board with him here. He's got to ease on the throttle here, push the car out to the wall, and then he'll cut across down to the inside here as he does. How's his second lap going to be? It is a big improvement, 30.59, jumping to second on the table. He'll be happy with that result. Jaden Russell's second lap out, also fast, but not quite fast enough. Edward Foster jumps up into provisional 4th, and we do still have a number of fast drivers out on track. Jump on board now with Luke Trahair. Michael Skurlock still to do his qualifying lap, Matty Hunter as well. Josh Micklemore hasn't got around for his first flying lap. Luke Trahair here completing his. And where does he finish up? A little slower there, so he'll build the pace up, 31.14. He'll be looking to go faster than that. We'll keep an eye on how Luke does here, and Skurlock as well. He's about to get close to coming across and finishing his first flying lap. Ruben Phelps has only just started his flying lap as well. He's quick in practice. And Ultra here improve on his first lap out with 31.14. You'd assume so. He does indeed. 30.66, just jumps straight up into 5th place. And let's see here, Michael Skurlock, he's winding up for his second flying lap. Dave Douglas has finished his. He is currently sitting in 13th. And once we've had a look here at what Skurley can do, jumps up into second, 30.58. Let's have a look at Josh Micklemore. In fact, we'll jump on with Josh, who's almost finished his second flying lap. Looking to improve from 21st. He certainly will do that. And he jumps right up into second place at 30.52. A great lap there from Josh Micklemore. He's currently on the front row. I think Ruben Phelps may have encountered some issues there. He's only going to get one flying lap in, so he's going to struggle a little bit to get that wound up and get up to pace. And on the 550 here of Tristan Cock. He may have had an issue on his first lap. This is his second flying lap that he's going to put in. And just pops into 24th position there. So the big issue here for these guys who didn't get both laps in, he's going to struggle to get that thing up to pace. It does take that first lap just to build up the speed. Phelps coming around now. In fact, he is going to get a second lap in. Oh, he's made a bit of a mistake there as well. So he's jumped on the brakes hard. Sure what the strategy is there. He's jumped back into pit lane. And he has jumped out again. So he's only going to get this lap in fact. So I'm not sure what the idea is there for Ruben in the Hot Wheels 06 entry. Only got about 20 seconds to go here before qualifying ticks over. And then we will head into our 125 lap main race for tonight. Looking at the pace at the front here, it's very, very tight between sort of positions 3 and 8. So there's going to be a couple of battle packs form. Kate Donnelly, JCW, and Neil Pearson going almost identical times there in qualifying as well. So those guys will be fighting tonight, no doubt. There'll be plenty of battles right throughout the pack. The other thing that will take effect, of course, is going to be the draft. But let's get into it here. Let's have a look at the grid for tonight. ANZCAR Thunder Series live from Charlotte here tonight. And it is Hamish Gallagher who takes out pole position in the number 13 Taylor Swift entry, followed by Josh Micklemore. We've got Michael Skurlock and Andrew Dyson off row 2 with Jaden Russell and Edward Foster off row 3. Luke Trahere and Lachlan Urquio off row 4 with Hamish Cleland and Cade Donnelly on row 5. Followed up there by JCW and Neil Pearson off row 6 as we skip back a page, and it is Steve Williams and Scott Griffith off 7th. We've got Dave Douglas and Christopher Finlay off row 8 with Brenton West and Matty Hunter off row 9. Chris Lethborg and Nigel Patton, my apologies, off row 10 with Troy Davis and Norm Clark following them up, and Aaron Dillon and Tristan Koch behind them. And then we do flip back to the end of the grid here with Gary Wallman and Philip Howe. We've got Mirko Doutnak and Ruben Phelps, Matty Raymond, Noddy Tompkins and Michael Schroeder rounding out our field. We're just waiting here for all the drivers to jump in. Last but not least, Luke Trahere's just waiting to jump into the server. Philip Howe still not in the server either, as we get a look all the way down the field there, and Michael Schroeder also not in. Luke Trahere has now joined the arena, and he will be raring to go. Good qualifying effort from him tonight as well, getting that up into 7th position. He'll be looking to work with Michael Skurlock with the draft here in effect. It is going to play its part in tonight's race, so they'll be looking to work together, as will Andrew Dyson when he gets joined potentially a little later on by Neil Pearson up towards the front of the field. So teammates definitely going to play a trick here. Edward Foster and Joshua Carroll Walden as well will be looking to work together, no doubt, as they get through this race. It's going to be a little bit, as always, about looking after the car as much as it is about that right-hand front tyre. Expect to see a few stops here tonight. They won't get 125 laps out of this one, so we'll have a look at that probably around about lap 30 or so as an estimate. And we're still under control of the pace track here. The drivers up towards the top of the table really going to be looking to manage the race here, make sure they don't get caught up in any silly business at the start that could impact the race. No fast repairs here, of course, so they will be wanting to make sure they get away nice and clean here. Cold tyres, we're about to get underway here. It is going to be Hamish Gallagher who's going to take us away. We're looking at him as the field checks up, and he's off and running here at Charlotte for the start of this 125 lap race for ANZCAR Thunder Series in the Xfinity cars. It looks like a nice clean start from everyone, just trying to get down into that low line, use the draft where they can. But it is Hamish Gallagher and Josh Micklemore who've got away very, very well there, followed by Michael Skurlock, Andrew Dyson, Jaden Russell, Edward Foster, Luke Trahere, Lachlan Urquio with Hamish Cleland and Cade Donnelly as our top 10 for tonight. Michael Schroeder choosing to start from pit lane. It looks like Philip Howe may not have made it out onto track, so he is an early retirement from this one. You just see here the lead pack just closing up a little bit now after that good start from Hamish Gallagher. Lachlan Urquio just dropping in and out there. He is actually still in the server, so just potentially having a small internet issue there. It says meant that it looked like he dropped out, but he's back in at things now. As up at the front, Hamish Gallagher tries to open a little margin where he can. There's battles going on everywhere here. JCW trying to put a move on the underneath of Cade Donnelly. You can see there the 9 of Neil Pearson. He's right up on the back of Lachlan Urquio as well. They're just battling away there. That's for positions 10 and 11. Hamish Gallagher just opened his gap a little bit further at the front here. Josh Micklemore being pursued by Michael Skurlock, and Jaden Russell equally by Edward Foster. Russell was very, very quick in practice, third fastest in fact, and he's moved up one position from the start. Andrew Dyson's just dropped off this pack a little bit. He's got a fast charging Luke Trahere behind him with Hamish Cleland in that grouping as well. So he's going to be having one eye on the mirror, one eye on the road in front as this pack really closes up. In fact, Neil Pearson just behind him as well. So there's a little bit of wall damage on that Dyson right-hand side there. So it's just rubbed the wall at some stage on these early laps. Lap 5 now. You can see there's a bit of a train starting to gather behind him. Ultra won't mind this too much at this early stage. Able to save a little bit. You can see there, too wide down underneath. Hamish Cleland on Neil Pearson. And Pearson getting the job done there. So he's moved up one position. And he's now on the back of Luke Trahere. So he's trying to work up to his teammate as well. You can see Lachlan Urquio there just down on the low line. He's also going to get past Hamish Cleland. But 9 of Neil Pearson. He's closed right up on the back of Luke Trahere here. Maybe wanted to go with his teammate, get past Trahere as promptly as he can. And up at the front, Hamish Gallagher has checked out a little bit. Still 3/10 up on Josh Micklemore, who has Michael Skurlock right on his heels, and Jaden Russell as well, just putting the pressure on the back of Skurlock. Edward Foster there just sitting in the background, just observing what's going on. Running slightly higher line there into the corner. That's just trying to conserve that right-hand front. We've got now eight laps so far in this one. You're wanting to keep it green. If it does, just be wanting to have a little bit more of that right-hand front tyre left. It looks like down the field, Matty Hunters may remember the 2 wide here. Good pack. 7 cars running, all within a whisper of one another. 2 wide on the circuit early on here. Is that a Big Kev's livery there on Brenton Westcar? I'm not quite sure if you can see that there, but it looks like it. Big Chris instead. In fact, it's Chris Lethborg, so he's just taking a leaf out of the old Big Kev livery, and he's just dropped his name in there. Looks very, very smart indeed. You got the 23 Troy Davison right up on the back of him as well. So thinking about these longer circuits, it gives the guys a little bit more time to sort things out. And you got the 48 there of Matty Hunter, just running a slightly higher line. He's going to fall down into this group now. In fact, he's going to try, or he had a bit of a look there, still having a big look down under the inside of Chris Letborg there, deciding not to get it done. It's very, very close at the front here still. You can see they've closed right up on the back of Hamish Gallagher. In fact, so Gallagher now has had his lead eroded by Micklemore and Skurlock, obviously working together there just to catch up onto the back of the leader. Edward Foster's a little bit further out from this one. He'll be wanting to close up onto the pack. In fact, we're already coming up on the back of a lap car. I think that might be Michael Schroeder that we're approaching this early on, lap 11 of 125. Back of Michael Skurlock's car now, you can see Jaden Russell just behind him in this train. And just up onto the back of Josh Micklemore in front of him. Micklemore just biding his time, probably working out whether or not he wants to head past Gallagher and lead at the moment or not. There's a certain amount of sense in just sitting there for the minute. If they're going to get too far in front, there's still plenty of time to go here. There's not too much pressure from Skurlock behind him. So, able to manage the race at the moment. Joshua Carroll-Walden now coming under a little bit of pressure from Steve Williams. This is for 12th and 13th. He was actually in the same position he qualified so far. Biggest mover is actually Ruben Phelps. He's up 6 places, currently sitting in 22nd after just getting caught out on qualifying a little bit. The gap sort of just maintained itself now. Lachlan Mercury under a little bit of pressure from Hamish Cleland in front of this, and it looks like Luke Trahair just going down the inside of Andrew Dyson here. Looks like Smokey and the Bandit, that Camaro. In fact, in the black, that livery is very good, particularly the red wheels as well. But the 43 of Luke Trahair, Crank Esports entry, just putting the screws down on that 41. So there's a bit of rub damage on that right-hand rear quarter of Andrew Dyson. You just see it there, we're on board with him now, just having a look back at it. It's just flattened out that quarter panel, so that was early on in the race. Not sure how much that's going to be affecting him. But Luke Trahair has now jumped up into 7th position again and has become the meat in the DPR sandwich between Neil Pearson and Andrew Dyson. Front, it's still quite close here between these three. In fact, Josh Mickelmore right on the tail of Hamish Gallagher. Jaden Russell's dropped away a little bit. Edward Foster a bit further behind. So they've suffered, not able to quite keep up the pace with these front runners, given the benefit of the draft. Hamish Gallagher from Josh Mickelmore, Michael Skurlock here in this lead pack. Schroeder has already gone a lap down. We've got Philip Power, who didn't start the race after qualifying. And so far it's been an extraordinarily tame beginning to this one. And there's been a few passes here. Hamish Cleland looks like he's about to get past Lachlan Urquio. JCW looking to go with him if he can. He's dropped down in that low line. Urquio's going to get hung out to dry here a little bit. He's not going to be able to get down on the low line as they head down the straight. JCW just choosing to tuck in behind Urquio, and he's going to pull down now again behind Cleland. Just try and hang Urquio out to dry here. And he's going to probably get it done with the benefit of the draft here. Urquio's battling hard. He's keeping it clean. We've got 3 wide. And just getting high up there as well. So JCW is going to take that position from Urquio. Urquio touches the wall as well, so there's going to be a bit of damage on that one. And in fact, something's happened there to Neil Pearson too, because he has dropped 2 places now behind Andrew Dyson as well as Luke Trahair. In fact, he's clipped the wall there. Just touched it again, that right-hand rear quarter, just bearing the brunt of the damage so far tonight. Car's just drifting a little bit high in the line. And so Neil Pearson now heavily entrenched in a battle with Hamish Cleland, who's got a little bit of pace on the 58 at the moment. He's going to duck down underneath. Again, JCW is going to try and take some benefit out of this as well if he can. Just hanging there on the rear bar of the Cleland Toyota. Here we go. He's got a good run. He's going to get down underneath him here, and he'll get the job done quite easily. In fact, at the end, I think Pearson maybe surrenders a little bit. Just tries to slot down in there and block off JCW and make sure that he doesn't get a run on him as well. But JCW already got the benefit of the draft. I reckon if Pearson, an experienced campaigner, just managing it well. 23 laps in here. There's a long way to go. Just dropping down in front of JCW there. Make sure he doesn't lose 2 places. Getting onto that lower line, which does seem to have the pace at the moment. Luke Dreher is rapidly caught onto the back of Everett Foster as well, so a little bit of benefit there for these two to work together for a couple of laps if they can, to try and jump back onto the back. They're not too far off Jaden Russell, about half a second. But Dreher here probably benefit from working with Foster for a little bit to try and catch the gap back up to Jaden Russell, because they're a fair way back from the leaders. The lead pack still tight as a box of tissues. Hamish Gallagher spread a little bit, but Josh Micklemore and Skurlock still fighting away here at 4 seconds. Skurlock looks like he's got some pace on Micklemore again. Benefactor of a little bit of a toe there. You can see him right under the back wing of the Mitch Motorsport entry. Just checking out what the back of one of those Chevrolets looks like. Skurlock running the Supra. He's got a run on him here down on the inside. He's going to get this job done pretty easily, actually. Just gets the stream, gets the boost out of the corner. He's had to slide it a little bit. Micklemore's gone back down underneath through the crisscross. A little bit loose there, lost a little bit of drive, so Skurlock's going to get that one away, you'd think. But no, Micklemore just not relenting there, forcing Skurlock to run that higher line. Reasonably under control there, though. He'll close this out. He's got the nose in front now. He's getting that slingshot effect out of the corner. And Micklemore moves back down into 3rd place. Back here to Foster and Dreher, still battling away. Andrew Dyson right on the back of this battle too. And in fact, they have caught up a little bit of time onto the back of Jaden Russell. So if they keep working together here, these three, they are going to get the benefit and catch back up, potentially onto that lead pack as well. So Andrew Dyson joins this grouping. Joshua Carroll-Walden has got past Neil Pearson too, so he's now up into 9th position, Pearson in 10th. Good battle going on between Brenton West and Dave Douglas, as well as Luke Dreher gets underneath Foster here. Not waiting to get it done either. Foster's going to try and battle him on that higher line. And Andrew Dyson's just jogging on the spot in the background, waiting to pick up the scraps, whatever may come of this one. But Foster will know there's plenty of time to go here. He'll just be wanting to stick with this group. So Russell, Dreher, Foster, Andrew Dyson, Hamish Cleland also jumping up onto the back of this one. Work together and get that pack up onto the back of the leaders. Hamish Gallagher's checked out a little bit at the front now. He's a 2nd in the lead. Willie Tompkins just left pit lane. And so Dreher now opening up a small gap. Edward Foster's got Andrew Dyson to contend with, as well as Hamish Cleland. So he's just starting to space out at the front. We've got half a second between Gallagher and Skurlock, and between Skurlock and Micklemore, with Micklemore and Russell with the same sort of gap. Dreher's closing on Russell, though. We'll jump onto that one shortly, as Hamish Cleland gets the pass done on Andrew Dyson here. Just gets down awfully close to that apron down at the bottom there. That could have spelled some tragedy, but just getting it through. Dyson's not letting him have the position all that easily, though, nor should he. And all the two of them get very close together in the 58 of Cleland, just touching that apron there. He's decided to bail out of that one. Joshua Carroll-Walden, Foster's teammate, looks like he's closing up on the back of this battle. Can't see that being a bad thing for Foster. Appreciate the support. Can jump back a little bit further here. Kate Donnelly and Troy Davison, they're battling away. This is for positions 15 and 16. Ruben Phelps continues his charge up the field. He's now in 17th. Matty Raymond in 18th. And just there, that move being done. Troy Davison getting down the inside of Kate Donnelly. And moving up one spot into 15th position. Up at the front, pretty stable. Gallagher, Skurlock, Micklemore, Jaden Russell. They're all about a second apart. Luke Trahere looks like he is closing in on Jaden Russell. We're going to start seeing pit stops soonish. I reckon probably within the sort of next 10 laps. We'll keep an eye out for that as well. We've had a couple go through the pits for unscheduled stops. Dave Douglas gets past Stevie Williams for 12th position in the 199. Just moving his way up the field. The double D. Striking livery. Go well actually with Ruben Phelps. Looks kind of like a Hot Wheels livery, that one. Sort of thing you'd expect to see in one of those packs. So go well with this man here, the 06 Ruben Phelps. I believe that time's both driving for the same team. 45 there if Gary Wellman closes right up on the back of Phelps. Goes to the outside to try and get a pass done. As Kate Donnelly's down on the inside. Looks like he's jumping into pit lane. First of the main stops tonight. He's got a bit of damage on the right-hand front there. That may be the cause for that stop. Just get a little bit of that repair though. Obviously, the lap here, only about 30 seconds, so the pit lane transit time a little longer than that, so he'll go a lap down here. In fact, as we speak, just that happening. So he'll be hoping that there isn't a caution period and get through his first phase of the race without one of those, so he can get back out onto the lead lap. Aaron Dillon's also jumped into pit lane as well. But it is Hamish Gallagher still in the lead here. Things closing up in the background. Looks like Ed Foster there he's decided to jump into pit lane. So first of our lead pack to get into pit lane. Just getting that one pulled up there. So it looks like 37 laps or so is the early point for a pit stop. No damage to that car there, potentially just struggling maybe a little bit for tyres. So just jumping into pit lane. Likewise, he'll be hoping that this one stays green until everyone gets through, as Hamish Gallagher goes through to put a lap on him. So Foster will be keeping a keen eye when everyone else pits in. So that's our first stop there. Looks like Kate Donnelly had a little bit of repairs done to his car as well. So Edward Foster, 42 seconds there. That's a full pit stop with tyres and fuel. So keep an eye on Foster now. Be looking to take advantage of those fresh tyres and maybe get an undercut done here. Neil Pearson's jumped into pit lane. So it looks like our front pack will be making their way through pit lane soon enough. Who at the front will jump first? It's Michael Skurlock comes around. Hamish Gallagher as well. In fact, he's got the hard charging Kate Donnelly. You just see the difference there. Again, the new tyres make Donnelly unlapping himself from the race leader. He'll be happy with that, as if there is a caution, he will not be penalised. I think actually he might have lost 1 or 2 laps in his stop. In fact, yeah, he did, so he's a couple of laps down, but still shows you the pace. Lachlan Urquio jumps into pit lane as well. Neil Pearson, he's done his stop. So this guy should be able to catch this up. Get that lap back if it does stay green for a bit, but you'll definitely see those other cars coming into pit lane anytime soon, as there is a caution. We've got a caution period here, so Aaron Dillon has had an incident, and that has brought out our first caution period for the evening. This is not good for those who jumped into pit lane early. Lachlan Urquio, Edward Foster, Neil Pearson, Schroeder, Cade Donnelly. They're all going to go down, stay down that lap potentially. So we've got Gallagher, he'll jump into pit lane. In fact, we should see the rest of the field jump into pit lane at this point in time. Let's have a look at what caused the caution here with Aaron Dillon. So just a solo car incident there. Looks like he might have even missed pit lane. Let's just go back a step or two. And no, he's just got really loose up in the bank and tried to get it down into the pit lane, or down into that section of the track there, just down on the apron. Not quite able to do it, and unfortunately piling that one into the wall, and he's jumped out of that one. So go back live now, and everyone is in. So Edward Foster come around here, he'll get himself unlapped. Be a little bit of correction here. Everyone has run through pit lane. Mike Schroeder's jumped back in to just get a little bit of repairs, further repairs done there, I think. And basically here we've just ended up with Lachlan Urquio and Neil Pearson, as it sits at the moment, not on the lead lap of those cars that had pitted. Lights go out on the pace car. There'll be a bit of adjustment, I think, so we're just waiting to see that trickle through. Forming up here, just waiting for the pace car to jump off. It is going to be Hamish Gallagher and Michael Skurlock leading us away. Pit stops are done. It is our first caution for the night. There's a fair bit of work to do for some of those drivers that did pit early. Neil Pearson's back on the lead lap. So all bar a couple of cars are running on our lead lap. So we're going to commence lap 45 of 125 here at Charlotte for the ANZCAR Thunder Series on FGM Ecast. So let's get this one back underway. We're waiting for Gallagher to go, and he's gone as quickly as he can. He's going to want to establish a big gap here where he can. And he has done just that. Josh Mickelmore down on the inside of Michael Skurlock, so he's going to get that position. But a good start. These three resume the battle at the front, joined by Luke Trahare. He got a good jump as well, so he's up 3 spots. Andrew Dyson, Jaden Russell, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Hamish Clellan, Dave Douglas and Troy Davison all running in our top 10 as we get back underway here, lap 47 of 125. And Michael Skurlock will be thankful for the company of Luke Trahare as well up at the front here, if he can just tag onto the back of this lead pack. He will be doing so. Andrew Dyson, Jaden Russell and Joshua Carroll-Walden battling away there. This is for positions 5, 6 and 7. Russell just touching the apron there, just doing a good job managing to keep that there. Dyson right out on the wall, and he's susceptible here to Joshua Carroll-Walden, who gets down underneath him. Behind him, Hamish Clellan is back in this battle pack as well. Plenty of action still to come here. Not even halfway through the race yet. We've had our first round of pit stops. Just joined us. Neil Pearson did get caught out a little bit, as did Edward Foster. In pitting early, along with Lachlan Urquio too. So there are a few there that got caught out as we had our first caution, just as those gentlemen were running through pit lane. And it has been a little bit of a battle of the three at the front at the moment, Gallagher, Skurlock and Mickelmore. As that battle resumes, Luke Trahare's up 3 positions up into 4th. Gary Wellman now up 15 spots. He's currently sitting in 10th. Ruben Phelps up 16 into 12th. So there is plenty of movement within the pack here. Trahare's coming under pressure from Jaden Russell's just riding on that rear quarter. So he'll get the benefit there, get through underneath. JCW looking to be the opportunist and take advantage as well where he can. They're doing well there just to maintain the position. 28 of Jaden Russell right on his back bumper. And the 35 of JCW fighting for that position too. We have had a change for the lead at the front here. Michael Skurlock and Hamish Gallagher. Not quite got the job done yet. Skurlock, he's still just pushing on that outside line. Hamish Gallagher maintaining the run and just closing it out there, Skurlock. Looks as well like Josh Mickelmore just dropping off a little bit there in the background. Luke Trahare still under pressure from Jaden Russell, not quite able to get that pass done. Look a little bit further down the pack here, Christopher Finlay He's got Edward Foster and a hard-charging Neil Pearson up behind him. Oh, there's a huge accident here. Neil Pearson and Edward Foster both being taken out there. We're going to have to jump back and see what has happened here. And jump back a little bit further. Troy Davison, looks like he went off track. Let's just see if there was the cause of the accident here. Oh, as he's got... I'm not sure whether he got down into the side of Foster there or what's happened. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, I'm not too sure there what's going on. So the 23 might have just got down and got into the 53, or Ed didn't quite see him coming down, tried to avoid him and just had the back step out on the 53. So that's locked him up. That's caused the caution to come out. And then Lachlan Urquio went off track as well. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so he got taken out as well. We're down on the infield there. Mirko Doutnak just went shooting through on the grass, so he went off track as well. We'll just have another look at this. I'm not quite sure what happened there with Lockie. So he's got hit by Davison, and it looks like at the back there, Neil Pearson just got collected as well. So I'm just going to have another look at that one too. So here's Pearson, and you can just see that there, yeah, so it is the 23s come down into the front corner of Ed Foster. So Troy Davison there, yeah, and then he's unfortunately clipped the back of the 9 of Andrew Pearson and gone across the front of the 42 of Lachlan Urquio. So that has caused that chain reaction there. Just have a look at Mirko Doutnak. He's just getting down. He got airborne on his way across the infield, doing very well to avoid a lot of the conflict there. Good driving from you, Mirko. Well done. In the highlight reel later on in the week, mate. Great job. So unfortunately, that has caused a number of cars to jump out. We've looks like we've lost Edward Foster, and we've also lost Neil Pearson. Troy Davison is in pit lane. So second caution of the night. As I say, cautions breed cautions, but Michael Skurlock in the lead at the start of that one. Lachlan Urquio, Mirko Doutnak jumping into pit lane. No doubt for Lachlan to try and get some of those repairs done without going down a lap in the 42. Just waiting for the green here. Lights are still on the pace car. Probably need for one more lap. So we're rounding. We'll be starting lap 58 of 125 when the light goes green. Michael Skurlock will be hoping for a similar run so far tomorrow night, as he does try to wrap up that sim rig Do join us for that if you are interested in the outcome of that one. Surprised it's never been given away before on ANZCAR. And Skurlock in the box seat to take that one out. Lutra on the top line here. Probably prefer to be down behind his teammate Michael Skurlock. We'll try and see them work together on the restart and get the inside word. Or when Skurlock's going to put the hammer down and get this one back underway. Lights are out on the pace truck. It'll be pulling down. Pace car, I should say, will be pulling down into pit lane. Skurlock there gets off to a ripping start at the front there, just taking it away. Half a second jump on the rest of the field. Josh Mickelmore gets a good run as well. Luke Trahere just getting caught up behind Hamish Gallagher, so he's not able to take advantage of his teammate being in control of the field, and in fact is susceptible there. Joshua Carroll Walden looks like he's got a good run on behind him, along with Jaden Russell, who's going to go down the inside of JCW and get that position. JCW's not going to give it to him. Trahere gets down there. See Jaden Russell just down on that apron again, just flirting with the devil. Lost him some momentum there. He would have had to get out of that, and JCW just closes that position off as he chases down the back of Luke Trahere. Battles right down through the field at this restart. Jump back here to Matty Raymond, Brenton West, Steve Williams. They're all battling right behind Ruben Phelps and Andrew Dyson. Brenton West in that Tom's Supra liveried, Tom's Castrol liveried Supra even. He's putting the pressure on Mr. Sheen, Matty Raymond. An exceptional tonight. That Xfinity Chevrolet of his looking extraordinarily clean still. Let's take another look back at the front. Michael Skurlock opened up half a second lead here. Josh Mickelmore under pressure from Hamish Gallagher behind him. Gallagher just missing that restart a little bit, but has got that truck, that car, they're not like the Xfinity car even up to pace. And then Luke Trahere still under pressure from Joshua Carroll Walden and Jaden Russell right behind him. Carroll Walden just getting up into that midline. So critical lap for this one is lap 87. So we may see final pit stops then, of course, with that caution period, saving the guys a little bit on the tyres and fuel there. But if we do go green, that will be the earliest that anyone can make it to the end, we believe. Here just opening up a gap in. Joshua Carroll Walden under Dave Douglas, benefactor there. He's up 8 spots. Currently in 7th on the back of Jaden Russell, so he was a benefit. He benefited even, I should say, from that caution period. Moved himself up. Gary Wellman 16 spots now. Ruben Phelps, Matty Raymond up 17 spots apiece. So both those drivers doing well out of it as well. Of course, they were making good progress before that first caution was called, around about lap 42 or so. Down in the infield there. Pro Davison getting back out onto track. Looks like Lachlan Urquio has jumped back into pit lane again for some more repairs on that car of his. Good run here for Jaden Russell on JCW. out of the final corner. Just getting nice and close there, down on the inside. Good gap there, and he's going to get it done, Jaden Russell, just down on the inside. He'll pull up here and cut him off in the nicest way possible, just to close the door. So he now sets out on the back of Luke Trahare, try and get that one up into 4th. It's a 10th between them. It's very close indeed. You can see it there. All three drivers nice and close together. And we've got another caution period here. Looks like Scott Griffiths might have gone off track. Yeah, that's an interesting one. He's going straight ahead, and the back just stepped out on him there. It looks like the motor in that one has gone as well. So that is night over for the 5 car of Scott Griffiths. So that has brought out our next caution. Because the drivers won't make it to the end of the race if they jump into pit lane now, so I wouldn't expect to see too many jump through, unless it's to freshen tyres, suspecting that there's another caution period to come. Now on our 3rd caution of the evening. And Skurlock there just idles up behind the pace car. There is a fair bit of activity in pit lane, including race leader Michael Skurlock. He's jumped through. So these guys will just be taking fresh tyres and fuel while they can. And Jaden Russell stayed out, so he is in the lead. We just want to get his name ticked off at this point in time for leading a lap. You may see him jump in a moment or two. The leaders have all come through. Michael Skurlock now jumped back out in 6th place. So we've got 5 who stayed out. Russell, Carroll, Walden, Cleland, West and Clark. So they will be under pressure on the restart. Tyres on that lead pack. Some 26 laps fresher. So they will be a lot quicker. We did see it earlier on when I think it was Kate Donnelly jumped into pit lane, even though he was a lap behind. He's back now on the lead lap, in fact. But he jumped through pit lane and very quickly caught the leaders with fresher tyres on, albeit a damaged car. So he's actually now back just 1 lap shy of the lead. No, in fact he is. He's back on the lead lap now as well, Kate Donnelly. So that's a good recovery from him, courtesy of the cautions. He didn't stop that time. Yes, he did stop that time around. My apologies. So he's on a fresh set of rubber too. So good way to resurrect the night. Will be championship implications as well as a consequence of tonight, because of course Edward Foster's not going to register a finish this evening, and unfortunately that will mean he will lose 2nd place. Hamish Gallagher, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Edward Foster, and Josh Micklemore tied in third with Joshua Carroll-Walden. So Micklemore currently sitting in 8th, JCW in 2nd, albeit he has made one less stop. And Hamish Gallagher, championship leader, who currently sits in 7th. So these guys will be hoping to make something out of this. Lights are out on the pace car. We'll be jumping in. And we'll get back underway. Under control of Jaden Russell, who's had good pace tonight. So he may struggle. He's going to struggle with those tyres. The fresher cars are going to come through. Watching Michael Skurlock. Hamish Gallagher there as we get back up and racing. Russell's got a good jump away there on Joshua Carroll-Walden. Going to enjoy a nice little lead there, but we're just watching him. Michael Skurlock has already made up a couple of places, and going with him is Josh Micklemore. And Skurlock gets a little squiggle there. It's on those cold tyres. 31 as well, going with him. Trying to see who has managed to make their way through. It is still Jaden Russell out the front there. On him. So we've got 51 to go. When they get past this time, it'll pull up at 44 to go, and we'll be able to fuel to the end. Skurlock moving up into 4th now. Josh Micklemore, Hamish Gallagher going with him. In fact, Skurlock now taking 3rd, so he is charging. You can see him there just at the top of the picture, charging, chasing down JCW and Jaden Russell at the front. He's got Josh Micklemore in tow. Hamish Gallagher's not too much further behind him, along with Andrew Dyson. Trujillo will be wanting to get past Norman Clark and Brenton West as soon as he can, otherwise he's going to start wasting those fresh tyres. You see Skurlock here, he's going to drag right past Joshua Carroll-Walden there down the inside. Just a lot more grip, and tyres on his car some 22 laps fresher. And he will now take back the lead of this race from Jaden Russell. He's going to get a good run out of here, and you just imagine him making the move past. So Russell goes high there. He's going to get down the inside to get a good run here. Josh Micklemore's going to go with him. It's running in that artificial middle lane there that they have got underneath. Micklemore helps hang Russell out to the top of the track, and they move back into positions 1 and 2 in this race. And Gallagher will be looking to do the same thing as quickly as he can. Interesting, the two strategies here though. Those who pitted will have to definitely pit again. There's no question they will not make it to the end of this race, unless there are some significant caution periods, in which case, of course, you'd imagine they'll stop in, get the fuel and tyres and get a run to the end. Of course, those who stayed out have a little bit more flexibility with what they do. You're going to just have to make sure they don't lose too much time here though. Just checking the relative lap times there. Yeah, we're about a second difference between Russell, JCW, and Skurlock, Micklemore, Gallagher at the front. So they'll hemorrhage a little bit of time, but of course the tyres will plateau. Andrew Dyson on fresh rubber. He's up onto the back of JCW. Luke Trahare gets past Hamish Cleland. So Andrew Dyson here looking to move up past Jaden Russell as well. You can see Trahare just in the background there with Dave Douglas on his tail. Dyson just not able to get past here yet. And Jaden Russell. The leaders have checked out now. 2 seconds to the good to Hamish Gallagher. As Dyson just tries to make the move around the top here. Going to get it done with the extra grip in those newer tyres as he just gets through there on Russell. And Joshua Carroll-Walden under attack from Luke Trahare as well. And Russell keeps fighting it. Just going to let him take the spot there, Dyson. So Dave Douglas now looking to go with Luke Trahare, and Matty Raymond looking to take advantage as well. Ruben Phelps next on the list. He's going to try and line him up. Luke Trahare goes through around the outside so far on Jaden Russell. He should be able to get that to hold. Dave Douglas is going to go with him as well. So just pushing along. Douglas gets a little loose there. Just to keep it apart from Jaden Russell. That's been a good run now for these guys. Put up in a little bit of traffic there. Dave Douglas and Luke Trahare have made those moves stick. Andrew Dyson not too far in front of them either. And then a big gap up to our leaders. Michael Skurlock, Josh Whipplemore just closing in on him a little bit so far. Just 3/10 there, the two of them went together. Charged through the pack from 7th on the restart. The strategy played pretty well for Mirko Dordenak as well. He started from pretty much the back of the grid, 27th position. He has stopped 3 times after that cross-country adventure that he was forced to take to avoid some accident damage, which he duly did. And he's now up into 11th position. So a good run from him, and he's stopped 3 times. So he did stop at the last opportunity. He's got fresh rubber on the 62, and you can just see him there. He's just chopping up the 58 of Hamish Cleland, who didn't stop last time around. And he now is on the charge towards Ruben Phelps. He's lapping at the same pace as all of those in front of him. And he'll be able to hopefully close the gap to Phelps. It's about a second. In fact, Phelps has just made his way past Jaden Russell, so Jaden's going to have to make a decision shortly about whether or not he jumps into pit lane or keeps hemorrhaging time. So he will make it to the end on our calcs. If he does jump into pit lane now, he'll be fueled to the end. Of course, the tyres will be pretty average by the end of it. He's going to have to do a 40 lap stint. 38 lap stint in those tyres. 42 was the longest we saw on the first one. That was mainly due to the barrier put on it by the caution period, so they may get a little longer out of it. But he is dropping time. He's a second down on cars in front of him. So Luke Trahare, Dave Douglas still trying to catch up onto the back of Andrew Dyson. You can see the gap there. It's about half a second, so Dyson's checked out a little bit, but Douglas and Dreher will have the advantage of being able to work together, albeit not teammates. It's in their mutual interest to get up onto the back here of Andrew Dyson. Also really tight here, so it looks like he's just dropped a couple of spots there to Wellman and Finlay, who are also on fresh tyres and behind Jaden Russell, so that this is quite a close battle here for, we've got 10, 11 and 12, and in fact I believe that is 13th as well, Matty Hunter on the back of this quad, and they're in pursuit of Jaden Russell. So Russell there, not sure what happened there, we did see Russell get passed by them, so just as Russell now does decide he's got to jump into pit lane, he's got real loose there. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, he got really loose. I think he might have just not been able to pull that one up, and in fact he has jumped out of it by the look of it. So we'll jump back on with our new race leader, Josh Mickelmore. So he's managed to get the pass done on Michael Skurlock while looking back through the field there, and in fact Skurlock is going to start coming under pressure from Hamish Gallagher behind him. You can see that there. So just looking for some damage on that Crank Esports car. It doesn't look like there's anything there, so just searching back through here. Let's go back and have a look at this. It's the drag race, and he just gets down the inside of Michael Skurlock there and closes the move out. So a little bit more pace on the Mitch Motorsport car. Potentially there, the consequence. And in fact, while we've been doing that, Hamish Gallagher's got past Michael Skurlock as well. So potentially with the push there to get to the front, Skurlock's just gone a little hard on those tyres early on, and he's suffering for it now. Andrew Dyson and Luke Dreher closing up on one another, so this battle could develop into something. Keep an eye on that. Gary Wellman, Christopher Finlay as well. This one's close. Hamish Cleland and Cade Donnelly. So remember, Cade Donnelly did end up going a lap down early on in this one, so he's done well to recover to 14th at this point in time, chasing down Hamish Cleland. And in fact, Michael Skurlock jumping into pit lane. So there is a very small amount of damage, I think, to that right-hand front corner, perhaps. No, I think it might be a little bit deceptive, but he's jumped into pit lane. So he's decided to not run any longer. He's going to get new tyres, get it fueled up, and this will get him to the end of this race. He's done it under green flag, so he'll be again another driver hoping that there is no caution period in this next small little bit. As Luke Dreher also jumps into pit lane, so teammates here following the same strategy. Mirko, our Dortnack also jumping into pit lane, so all three of the crank cars have cycled through for their final stop. So there could be a possibility here of a couple of guys getting some fresher tyres at the end, but it's a race they're going to have to run. Just obviously the feeling there from Skurlock was that it was a little too long in the tooth for the tyres that he had on the car. Luke Dreher on his way out. JCW's also done his pit stop. Of course, that is only his second stop, but he will make it to the end as well. Just losing a lot of time there with that strategy. Norm Clark and Brenton West also jumping into pit lane for their final stops. So Hamish Cleland out there on the oldest tyres at the moment. He pit on lap 42. So he is definitely going to be due in to pit lane any tick of the clock. Yeah, but his lap times aren't too bad though. He's within 10th or 2 of the leaders on tyres that are significantly older. So Michael Skurlock managing to get out. He is in 15th position, but he will make his way through the traffic in front of him. In fact, that's Christopher Finlay he's unlapped himself from, so he may well make his way back up to the front of this field yet. But it is Josh Mickelmore leading the race here. He's got Hamish Gallagher behind him. Andrew Dyson is in third. We've got Dave Douglas up into fourth, 11 places up. And then Matty Raymond, 24 places up in fifth position, with Ruben Phelps behind him, 22 spots up. Gary Wellman is in eighth, up 17 spots. And between them is Christopher Phelps. He is also up 9. So some good movement here throughout the field tonight for this race. The Thunder Series from Charlotte. Thanks to AJ Insurance Services. Just down on the apron there was Gallagher, just touching that line, not quite crossing over onto the apron, so doing a good job there. And Andrew Dyson is going to try and have to chase these guys down. Dave Douglas under a bit of pressure from Matty Raymond. They're closing in, and in fact, it is Michael Skurlock punching his way through the field here again. And he goes round Dave Douglas. Short stack 2 goes in and under. And he'll go through there. He's going to have to look after those tyres a bit. They've got to last him to the end of this one. 26 laps to go. Okay, Donnelly's jumped into pit lane as well to serve his final stop. As Gary Wellman gets a pass done on Christopher Finlay. Looks like Hamish Coland has jumped through, so now everyone having made at least 2 stops. So Cade Donnelly's jumped back into pit lane, has he? No, that's still the same stop. So got 24 to go this time round. Mickelmore, Gallagher and Dyson still at the front, still yet to make their final stop. Gallagher here, quite pacey, so he's putting the pressure on to Josh Mickelmore in the Mitch 31 entry. He won't want to push too hard on those tyres. He might find himself needing to pit sooner rather than later. Perhaps that's why he's doing it. Of course, getting the benefit of the draft. Andrew Dyson still 4.8 behind these two. As Gallagher cuts down on to the lower section of the track as he can do. He's trying to get down underneath Mickelmore here. He's pulled up alongside him, but they hit the exit, and you've got a fast charging Michael Skurlock coming up on them as well. He's going to finish unlapping himself. Currently in 12th position, and they're going to go 3 wide. Skurlock just drives around the outside easily on those fresh tyres and unlaps himself, so he is now on the move again. And of course, when these guys jump into pit lane, as Skurlock is the lead car able to make it to the end of this race, you've got another 11 cars yet to pit with 21 to go. Dave Douglas coming under a bit of pressure from Ruben Phelps behind him. Troy Davison there just making way for these guys coming through. Luke Trahere Up on the back of this pack too, he's on fresh rubber. He's trying to make his way through the field again, unlap himself. And get past underneath Ruben Phelps relatively easily there. And he should make light work of Dave Douglas as well, given the age gap between the tyres on the two cars. Does just get underneath him there and close that out. Ruben Phelps there getting the pass done for position. So he's moved up into fourth. Dave Douglas' tyres there sound like they're processing a little bit. And behind them is Mirko Deltnak on fresh tyres too, so he's trying to get the job done to get unlapped. Leaving these stops late, they're obviously hoping to get a really late caution period to get themselves through to the end. I don't think they can make it on fuel. An enormous stint if they did. "59 laps, in fact, on the same tyres. I have to think that by then the tyres on them would be absolutely rubbish. We have had instances of cars blowing tyres out. Strapped hard on the right-hand front tyre, so there is the possibility of that happening here as well if they're not too careful. It's a very, very long run on those tyres. So that may be going through their mind as well. Josh Micklemore's just dropped a second. Just seeing that notifications that Mirko Deltnak has come off the track. That could just be that he cut low. Does say that Hamish Clellan made his way past him though. Not bringing out the caution though, so we're still racing here. 15 to go. As Hamish Gallagher, race leader, passes start-finish line. Well, with Josh Micklemore here, just to have a look at him and his pace. He's dropped another quarter of a second to Gallagher. Andrew Dyson not really making up much of a gap though. Just wondering if Micklemore might be trying to manage this one to the end to save himself. Do it on a two-stop strategy. There'll be no tyre left by the time he gets there. If there's no other caution period though, it will get him onto the podium at this stage. Michael Skurlock still hasn't made up many spots on the road. He has obviously unlapped himself, but he is the first of the cars on fresh rubber. So he's our yardstick, for lack of a better expression. Andrew Dyson's got Ruben Phelps about just under 2 seconds behind him, along with Dave Douglas and Matty Raymond. So I guess the real benefit here is that all these lead cars are running on used tyres, so they're not really able to gain or lose too much to one another. This gap at the front actually has opened up even further, so Hamish Gallagher the only one actually making distance here with 13 to go. The rest of the cars relatively stable in the gaps. And we've got Wellman and Hunter here battling away. They're coming up on the back of Norm Clark in the 09 Atari Autosport entry. But you can see there, yeah, Wellman and Hunter battling away. This is as close as it is at the front, albeit Douglas and Matty Raymond starting to close up their gap there. You can just see that Matty Raymond coming through. He has reduced that gap to Dave Douglas to just 4/10. Ruben Phelps has checked out at the front a little, however. So it's Noddy Tompkins there in the 80 entry. got 9 laps to go, 8 laps this time around, and Gallagher's still out there going around. And they're going to try and close this one out. With just 2 stops, there won't be much left of that right-hand front tyre when they get to the end of this one, that is for sure. Not much fuel left in the tank either, so big call from these guys here. Michael Skurlock has closed the gap to Stephen Williams, so he's pushing hard. There's no way he's going to make up the 20-odd seconds to the front. In fact, 16 seconds to the podium even in 7 laps. He's going to have to hope that something goes wrong here to help close up the gap. I figure that these guys at the front would probably then take a stop, get new tyres and see how they fare. Maybe not, actually. With only that few laps to go. Would make Gallagher the first multi-race winner in the Xfinity Series, of course, or Thunder Series, my apologies. Of course, hasn't been running that long yet, so quite a solid start for him. He would actually extend his lead at the top of the championship as well. Would also improve Josh Micklemore's standings. I think he could jump up into second as it currently stands. So big run here from these guys. Dave Douglas not able to get the gap closed too much there. We've got a little bit of a battle here between Wellman and Hunter. It's still close, but not quite close enough. Skurlock has moved up into 10th. He'll probably get the job done here on Christopher Finlay, you feel, but then there's a 5-second gap up to Matty Hunter with only 3 to go. So what a drive from Hamish Gallagher. Last pitted on lap 68 and on lap 123. So a brilliant long run here for Mitch Motorsport in. I'm going to take a 1-2 home here as well with Gallagher and Micklemore. It'll be the first time we've seen this, of course. And some make Micklemore the bridesmaid for the second time as well. Yeah, last time Hamish Gallagher took out the win was Josh Micklemore, who was there playing the role of Robin. We've got the white flag here, so last lap here at Charlotte for the ANZCAR Thunder Series, thanks to AJ Insurance Services, and Hamish Gallagher could basically do it in a canter. At this stage, he's 2.7 seconds good to the good of his teammate Josh Micklemore. Andrew Dyson currently sitting in third. Continue his strong run of form. Roll of the dice for Michael Skurlock as we get the checker flag there, and it is Hamish Gallagher who's going to take out the win here at Charlotte for Mitch Motorsport. A great drive from him on very long in the tooth tyres. Josh Micklemore is going to come home in second place, and it will be Andrew Dyson home in third in the DPR Simrix.com entry. And those 3 drivers, fantastic effort. I was just going to say that Michael Skurlock rolled the dice to see if he might get the benefit of the fresher tyres, and just not quite working out for him tonight. And that's the way it is in car racing sometimes. He rolled the dice on the strategy, thought that those fresher tyres might give him the advantage to get home in the lead here, but running from 68 laps through to the end, 125 laps here, and Hamish Gallagher takes the win. Whopping 58 lap stint there. So when that caution came out, we would have had a fair bit longer to run, which might have made the difference for a number of these trucks, these cars I should say, in that other stop. Andrew Dyson there just putting on a little bit of a show in pit lane. So with that all done, let's bring up the final outcome here tonight as we wait for the guys to jump into the booth in the ANZCAR Thunder Series. As I said, at Charlotte for AJ Insurance Services, it is Hamish Gallagher, whopping 57 lap final stint, helping him to bring it home ahead of Josh Mickelmore and Andrew Dyson making up the podium. We've got Ruben Phelps and Dave Douglas 4th and 5th. Great job there from Ruben, up 24 spots to take out 4th position. Return to form somewhat for him. Dave Douglas in 5th. Matty Raymond in 6th position. Mr. Sheen 23 spots up. Followed by Gary Wellman, Matty Hunter, Michael Skurlock and Christopher Finlay rounding out our top 10 tonight. Yeah, grab Ruben in there. Welcome to the booth, guys. Mitch Motorsport 1-2 again here in the ANZCAR Thunder Series. Congratulations, a whopping 57 lap final stint there for you guys. Just got Andrew into the booth as well. Andrew, 57 laps for you too. We'll get started with you tonight. Another strong finish for you in this series and continuation of your form from last week.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's good to get on the podium again. Just looked after the tyres there and made sure I could make it home on fuel, and we got away with it.
Yeah, we're sort of surprised. We saw that first caution coming out around lap 42. Everyone jumped through, and then we suspected that it might be a little bit of a struggle to get home when that final caution came out on lap 60 odd. And but you guys did it. Did you check the right-hand front condition when you managed to get into pit lane?
Oh, I didn't actually know. I forgot to have a look at that, but it was feeling pretty secondhand to give you the tip. But I actually wasn't expecting that to be the last caution. Like we started to have a few cautions in succession there, so I thought we might have had another sneaky one later on, but that didn't come. So yeah, it wasn't really planned, that one, I can tell you. But yeah, it worked out good. Like I said, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll continue to improve your position in the championship after obviously the win last week at Kota. Any relevance for tomorrow night's race for you out of this?
Well, I don't know, man. These cars are so weird to drive. Like they're much different to everything else. Like they're probably my least favourite as far as like the trucks and the cup cars go. They're way better in my opinion. The trucks would have to be my favourite, but. Yeah, these things are not really my cup of tea, man. So it was more just, getting a feel for where people are passing, how people are getting runs, things like that. I'm sure everyone's doing the same thing. And as it turns out, I'm also looking for some pace all around because these guys ahead they were blazing, man. So, I mean, yeah, I think we're going to have to try and, I know it was big setup and all that, but I think these guys know their way around here a little bit better than I do. So I'm going to have to find something tomorrow night.
And the alternate livery tonight, mate, the black instead. Yeah. It's pretty striking. I like it.
Yeah, something different. I think Neil's got us something sorted finally for the Thunder Series car. So maybe we'll bring out the old Faithful next week.
Oh, beautiful, mate. And as always, a regular now in the booth. Just a quick rundown of your sponsors.
Oh, I don't know about a regular, but I'm trying. Simics.com, love those guys. Hooked me up with my stuff. So check out their website. They've got some specials coming up too soon for end financial year. So. Get around that. BMX Mechanical, Southwell List and Hoist, MP Designs, and Bet Smart Racing Service. Thanks so much to AJ Insurance Services, I think it is. Hopefully I got that right.
Yeah, well done.
Because I haven't got it in front of me. And thanks to you guys for hosting up the broadcast, and of course ANZCAR for putting it all together.
Very good. Well, hopefully we see you tomorrow night back up in the booth, mate. A good run. Well done. And, we'll look forward to seeing how you get on tomorrow night in the longer format.
Hopefully, mate. Cheers, guys, and congrats, Hamish and Josh.
Absolutely. So, Hamish, Josh, might do this collectively if you don't mind. Josh, the Mitch Motorsport boys here, this is the second one too we've seen so far. We're only 3 weeks into the series. What's the secret?
The ovals.
Just going left, you reckon?
Yeah, as soon as we turn right, it turns to crap. But no, gotta love the ovals, mate.
You guys are certainly putting in strong performances. Obviously, Coda last week not quite working out, but week prior doing the triple on everyone, and a really good start here tonight. Obviously, the Mitch cars, we're used to seeing them up the front, and tonight no different at all, with a really, really good run for both of you, just making your way back through the traffic there at the restart, and managing to hold on for the win.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. I really enjoyed the car tonight. It was real loose to start off. It got tight, then got loose again. It was good fun to drive. So glad to see some long runs, because that was definitely what was my strategy tonight, trying to save the tyre as long as I could, and it paid off. So I'm real happy.
Did either of you manage to get a chance to check the condition of the right-hand front when you jumped out?
Yeah, I had. She was pretty worn. But it was even. Right front and right rear were both the same, so balance was good. So there was no worries there.
Yeah,
we were talking a bit. Sorry, Josh, go on.
Yeah, mine was pretty similar as well.
Because we were talking about it just during the broadcast, and obviously we have seen instances during the Cup more so where tyres have blown out and ended races. So we're sort of just wondering I'm not sure that anyone planned on that sort of 57 lap second stint there, or to stop it, particularly as you said with that small grouping of cautions we had in the middle of the race. I don't think anyone was expecting to go 57 laps to the end.
No, probably not. I don't think the tyres were too bad. It wasn't quite like Dover. Dover was like a really abrasive on tyres. He is quite grippy. But I didn't plan on being able to make it on fuel. I thought we were going to be quite a little bit short, which I'm guessing by Skirley and Trahir, they pitted. But yeah, once we knew we were good on fuel, we just laid it up and looked after the tyre and hoped it stayed green, which it did.
Oh, well, a thoroughly deserved 1-2 again. And Josh, another bridesmaids performance for you, mate.
Yeah, it seems to get a lot of seconds this year and lately, and hard to get these bloody wins. I keep getting seconds and thirds though, but we'll get some wins. It's good to Hamish getting the win and getting the 1-2 again. It's pretty good.
Well, obviously, really, really positive for both of your championships as well. That will certainly help, and Joshua will move up into second outright as a result of tonight, I believe. So, another solid performance, and obviously hoping to repeat it tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. It's all open setup tomorrow night, so it's a bit different than normal. Everyone's going to have all these different setups, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. But it should be an interesting race. We've got 200 laps, so it's going to be a long one as well, but it should be fun.
Absolutely. We'll start with you, Josh, obviously with the thanks as always.
Yeah, just bloody good job, Hamish, for the win. He bloody good on long run in this car. And all the other boys for all the work they've put in lately, and BK Designs for sponsorship of the team, and you guys for putting on the stream.
Hamish?
Yeah, and I'll just same as Josh, I guess.
Shout
out to Matty Hunter as well, just for organising the series and putting it on each week. So, good work from Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of effort goes into getting these things done, and Matty does a ripping job on behalf of ANZCAR as well. So definitely a shout out to him. And just once again, Mitch Motorsport 1-2 here again tonight. Second time out of 3 weeks in the ANZCAR Thunder Series. A really strong performance from you both. So congratulations, gents, on a race well run.
Cheers, thanks, Stuart.
Cheers, mate.
So there you go. Another 1-2 for Mitch Motorsport. An unsurprising result there. I know that the guys at Crank will be a little bit disappointed in not getting on the podium there. You can just see on the screen there Michael Skurlock just involved in this pack. But the roll of the dice falling in favour of Mitch Motorsport tonight as they ran the long race, 57 laps, you heard it right, of green flag running to round out this race and get it to its conclusion. We are back tomorrow night. We have the ANZCAR Cup Series from this very track, Charlotte. We have got the 200-lap version of this event tomorrow night with the Cup cars, and Michael Skurlock will be hoping to take home the win there tomorrow night to secure that sim rig to get that one tucked away nice and early. But we'll see what happens. Don't forget to join us on a little later tomorrow at 8 p.m. after qualifying. We will be back here at Charlotte for that race. So thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. Congratulations again to the Mitch Motorsport boys, 1-2 Hamish Gallagher, Josh Mickelmore and Andrew Dyson in the DPRSimrigs.com entry for his third place. I'm Stuart Brown, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thanks very much for watching.